quick word here about the rules of boxing. They vary a little bit here in Great Britain, as from the United States. The referee, who is Harry Gibbs tonight, is the sole judge of this fight. There are no judges. He will score it on a 5-must basis. He can actually come down to quarter points. In other words, the man who wins the round gets 5. He can actually score at 4 3/4 for the loser. Clay came in at 209.5 pounds. London 200.5. If you recall, Clay was 206 for Cooper. He was 214 for Chuvalo. Now in the dark trucks from Blackpool, England, the Blackpool Bulldog, as he's called, Brian London, who came in at 200.5. The last time he fought for the heavyweight championship of the world was in 1959. He was defeated by Floyd Patterson. That was in Indianapolis. He was knocked out in the 11th round. He weighed 206 at that time. He's 32 years old. Let's get a word here from Howard.
Thank you, Bill. The fight's just about to start, and Clay no longer employs his menacing grimace. Let's get right back to Bill and the action.
15 rounds live from Earls Court Stadium in London, England, on a rainy, dreary night. Called by many the fastest and most elusive heavyweight in the history of boxing. Figures to employ those tactics. London, of course, a plotter, moving in always, trying to set himself for the punch. Good right hand. Glancing off the left side of the head. In the first minute of the first round. Many of the experts figured that it would be London who would be the aggressor here in this first round. He likes to start fast, many times rushing off his stool. However, it's been Clay so far throwing most of the punches. You'll notice that Clay will throw the combination. London is pretty much a single punch fighter. Good snapping left hand by Cassius Clay. To go here in round one. London's face getting just a little bit red under the left eye. 10 seconds to go in the first round. The end of the first round, and here's Howard Cosell.
That round, Clay virtually used London as a punching bag, as a target, and yet he didn't really hurt him because he hasn't been punching hard. As Bill pointed out, Clay started off tonight faster than he usually does. He usually dawdles for a few rounds and then unleashes, or at least unleashes as much as he can punch. Quickly, the system of scoring in Britain, the 5-point must system. The winner of a round gets 5 points. After that, it's graded down into quarter points, so scoring is always very close. Scoring is done only by a referee. There are no judges at ringside. There is no mandatory 8 count. There is no 3 knockdown rule. There is no being saved by the bell, except, of course, after the 15th round, at which point the match is over, and there is no question arising as to being saved by the bell. A referee can disqualify one of the fighters for a foul blow. We're about to come into the second round. The first round easily plays. Bill?
The British people, of course, are still very excited over the World Cup Championship in soccer. A week ago, they'd like to have the second World's Championship coming their way by virtue of a London win tonight over Cassius Clay. Coming up in the next month, exclusively on ABC, will be the Carl Mildenberger fight. The way the contract is worded, it could be either of these men, whichever of the two wins. Although Brian London has been stopped 5 times in his professional career, he has been on his back only one time. That was Floyd Patterson, who put him down in 1959. He's probably one of the most superbly conditioned boxers in history. He's almost a fanatic on physical fitness, and as you saw, it is also the superb condition of Cassius Clay that got him out of a good spot. Great leg movement. Now the lefts are finding their mark just a little more regularly by Cassius Clay. Looked for a moment as if London was going to try to measure his man in the corner, then decided not to do it. The clinch ensued, and now they're back outside. Left hand that, as you saw, Clay rolled with. Good right hand by Cassius Clay. A good right hand, and it staggered London for a moment. You saw the left go, and then the right hand followed high on the forehead. About 20 seconds to go in the second. A definite sting to the right hand here in the second round. We have 10 seconds to go in the round.
Hi, I'm Dave Marr.
Round 3. Neither man is marked. Probably the best punch of the fight, thrown in that second round by Cassius Clay. A good right hand to the head. Again, Clay follows with a combination. London in a tough spot in there with Clay peppering him, and down he goes. He was in a bad spot in the corner, and he is down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's all over. It's all over. With 20 seconds, 20 seconds to go in the round, 40 seconds gone in round 3. Brian London was trapped in his corner. He knew he was in a bad spot, and all of a sudden a terrific right hand caught him on the head again, and down he went, and you saw the result. There is no question about the fact that London was hurt in the second round with a good solid right hand. And then when he was in the spot, whether he didn't have the mobility, whether he was still a little bit shaken by that blow is not known. But the point is he could not get out of the spot, and he was decked right then and there. Unofficially, we had 40 seconds had elapsed in round 3. All right, now let's take a look at the knockout. There he is in the corner, a good left hand. Now watch the right hand of Clay come right there. A beautiful. We'll be back in a moment at the Heavyweight Championship bout live from London on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
By the early bird satellite now, Muhammad, right to the people to fight over. What did it? A combination or a kind of blow such as you registered against Sonny Liston?
Well, I wouldn't feel right how we're taking the credit for coming out of the ring, fight after fight with no marks on my face, and being able to live clean and suffer in training like I do, fight temptation. I must first thank Almighty Allah for my strength and my power and the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, which has enabled me to walk through so much corruption and live clean. And the thing that really hit the man, I believe, was a hard left and a right. I threw about 7, 8 punches, and just about everyone connected, I think, but I really don't know which one. But I'm not taking nothing from him. He was determined, he was game, and for a round and a half, he was moving.
You had to establish to the public, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, that you can punch. Do you think you've established that now?
Whenever I see an opening like I did with London, I do take it, such as Liston and a few other of my fights, but I'm never out to prove nothing to the public. I would also like to say hello to my mother, father in Louisville, Kentucky, and all of my friends there who's praying and wishing for me to win tonight.
Hello to my wife and mother.
Angie is saying say hello to his wife and mother and
hello to Angelo Dundee's wife and kids.
All right, now you said,
all my friends.
Let's get back to the fight. We're going to be looking probably at the rerun of the knockout.
Also, I'd like to say assalamu alaikum to my leader, Elijah Muhammad, who I thank.
All right, we've been through that. Now I want to get back to the fight. You said you don't go into a fight to prove anything to the public, but you can't tell me you didn't come out fighting in this fight, whereas in other fights you've dawdled in the early rounds.
Well, I'm not never how it.
There's the round itself now.
I'm just taking my time.
Start to call it.
Watching him. I'm just watching him, Howie. It looks easy to watch it, but I hit him with a right hand that time. But the man is determined. I understand that he butts with his head, and I had to keep my distance, as you notice, concentrating on getting in and out, because one butt could stop the fight.
Now you've got him. Did you realize that he was going to go down that quickly?
Well, no, I didn't, Howie. I just threw everything that I could, hoping that he would, but...
Could he cut it short now, please?
He's struggling to get up, as we can see, and we're being asked to cut it short by the authorities.
I'd like to announce to the world here, beside me here is my new manager, Herbert Muhammad.
Herbert is now your manager, and Angelo Dundee?
Not yet, but he will be taking my management after.
What happens to Angelo?
Angelo Dundee's in training. He's right here. Great Angelo Dundee. We can't leave him out.
Is this acceptable to you, Angelo?
I'm just a working man in the boxing business, Howard. I told you that before.
All right, we're going to be getting out in just a moment, gentlemen. This question on September 10th over ABC's Wide World of Sports, you'll be fighting Carl Mildenberger.
Carl Mildenberger,
Will you be able to hold your peak for that? Because certainly
Howie,
tonight...
I'm glad that I didn't train as hard as I could for this fight. As you notice, I came in about 8 pounds heavier than the last fight with Cooper, and I'm glad that this fight didn't take too much out of me, and I think I'll be ready, and I'll shoot time the next fight just right.
And the very final question...
I'd also like to say, Howard, that I will be arriving in Chicago tomorrow evening, sometimes around 4 o'clock, and I'd like to see all my friends at the airport.
The final question. Reaction to the fact that much of the American sporting press says you're running a Bum of the Month club.
Well, all I'm doing, Howard, is giving every man a shot at the title. No clauses, no return clauses in my contract, like there are in all heavyweight championship fights. Plus, I'm giving every country, Germany, Canada, London, and we hope to go into some of the Middle Eastern countries, giving everybody a chance at the title, and I think this is good.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to you, Muhammad. See you September 10th. Let's go back to ringside and Bill Fleming.
Okay, thank you very much, Howard. Well, the official time is 1/40 of the third round. Now let's take a look at the knockout once again in stop action. Here he is into the corner. Brian London definitely knows he's in a tight spot. And you can see Cassius Clay unload. He mentioned the left, followed by a straight right hand. Watch how straight the hand is that comes across, right on the point of the chin. And down he goes. And was counted out officially at 1 minute and 40 seconds of round 3. And so for the second time, Brian London is unsuccessful in his attempt to win the World's Heavyweight Championship, and for the second time in his life, he is knocked out. We'll be back in a moment at the Heavyweight Championship bout live from London on ABC's Wide World of Sports.